I'm hoping this will be an uplifting video. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a front-loading system from Sony 711B machine, so used in the C20, 30, 40, 44, 80, and I'm hoping to restore this one. I've already started work on it, and you can see there I've repaired, there's a crack that forms on these on the left hand gear. It only seems to be the left hand gear. The right hand gear is quite a bit thicker and it's fixed differently anyway, but these do crack with the expansion contraction over the years of the metal bar that runs across here. And yeah, so basically what I do is I get a cable tie, I feed in some glue using a card, a plain card, super glue, and then I tighten up the cable tie. It's a wire cable tie, tight enough that it actually closes the gap, and yeah, let the glue set, and then I push it back and just put some glue on it. It just helps keep it all together. So that's done, but what I'll be doing in this video is actually taking this off, checking the timing, cleaning it all up because it's full of grease. It always tickles me that there's grease on the teeth, because that really does nothing. Re-greasing it, checking the alignment of it, and then we'll stick it in this rather lovely Sony SL-C20, which is it's a lovely machine, apart from the scratches. A scratch right the way across. Something's obviously, the machine's been dragged off the top of it and the centre screws have scratched it. Almost looks like it could have been a Toshiba V9-600 because they were quite good at doing that. But yeah, so and this machine will be featuring in a future video. It does work, but there is an interesting fault with it, and yeah, I've documented me sort of restoring it, but we've got a fault to sort out, so that'll be cool. But I do have to take the front loading system out of it anyway, in order to work on the fault, possibly. So I might as well take it out, and we'll pop that in and give it a test. So yeah, let's crack on. So this is actually going to go to Rob. Hi Rob, hope all is well with you. And he's actually got a broken one of these for his lovely C40, and it's a perfect machine, but I believe it's this gear that's actually got a tooth knocked off. So I said I'd sort him out a decent replacement, which this one hopefully will be. It has been out for quite a long time. You can see the amount of dust and crud. There's a bit of plastic there from something else. Oh, it's actually a bit of chassis of the. This is actually out of a HF100, which I think I forgot to mention is another machine that uses this. And yeah, so first things first, I'm going to take this apart. I don't think I have to take that out. And we'll see. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, this might have a broken gear. But I seem to remember it was fine, other than I had that cracked gear on the far side, and it didn't have the doors and the door clip. So all will become clear if you don't know what I'm talking about as we proceed through the video. So these screws are quite tight. Okay, so take that off. And I'm a bit concerned there is a bit of plastic in there. But so far, we are looking like we have good teeth. There's a bit of a hair in there. It just needs a jolly good clean. So let's take, I think that one has to come off first. Yeah, so straight down. See the hole there? There we go. And that one. Then, no, that's right. That does come off. And you've got the spring there on that one. All of these need cleaning because they're a heck of a mess. Plastics look good, which is brilliant. They can get problems with plastics here cracking. So that can be a little bit of a pain, but this actually looks okay. There's a bit of a scratch in there, which looks like it's cracked, but it's not a crack. So yeah, I just need to get this all cleaned up and hunky-dory, get all the grease off, and we should be good. It's very greasy. I'll take this rod out as well. It's full of dust at the front. I think that's original to the machine, not while it's been floating about here. Back of here, it's not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit smoked, if you like. The plastic's smoked. That's partly from the grease. But yeah, it's sort of yellowed. But we can clean all that up. Switches. We shouldn't have to adjust them, but these screws actually adjust the trigger points for those switches. So if you've got problems with the tape going in, not going in properly when you push, like being taken in or taken in too quickly, then it's adjusting these. This one in particular I seem to remember, but yeah, so I'm going to take these, get these washed up. Let's just check if we've got all the teeth. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, to be honest. Okay, so I will get those all cleaned up, and I'll clean up the front loading system. I'm not going to show that because it's going to be like probably half an hour of me doing that, and yeah, it's not much fun to watch. So I'll get that done, and we'll crack on. Let's crack on. So I will just show, I'm going to try and get all of this completely apart. Never done this before, but I just would like to make this 100% good. And this is where it gets a bit nerve-wracking, because plastics are starting to get so brittle on these. There we go. And then this side. And then we'll turn it over. I just think it deserves to be properly restored. Just try not to put too much force on it. So, yeah, don't break anything. I do wonder if it's been apart before, because I'm not sure. And we'll check. The two top screws that are in here were this type, and I would say that's not the right type to go into plastic. Let's unhook that, take that off. That's actually screwed in, so probably take that off as well. Do a thorough job. These won't see water because I don't want to get water in between on the spring, so that won't happen. But I now have the plastics and give these a jolly good clean. I'll take this off as well. Screwdriver. So this is just the retainer for the, if you like the retainer, for the belt. Take that and give that a clean. So yeah, it'd be nice to get this sort of properly washed and all cleaned up. I just have to watch these bits as well. Ooh, okay. Are we missing? Oh, so we've got a stretched spring there. And we've got a missing arm off there. Which, yeah, I don't have. So that's probably, that's not great. Oh, because that's what keeps the cassette down. And yeah, that spring's stretched for that one, which is fine. I can sort that out, but it's completely missing on the other side. So, oh heck. Well, yeah, that might put a slight makes it a bit more complicated. Okay, well, I do have bits for these somewhere, so I just need to dig those out and take it from there. Let's crack on. So we have the faulty front loading system from Rob. Thank you very much, Rob. And yeah, this is not looking, gosh, yeah. I didn't quite make out, but the gears have actually split almost. They've popped open. So possibly we might not actually have a broken gear, but we'll take it apart and have a look. Obviously we've got the other one which it was in a pretty poor state, so let's take it apart and see what we can find. So get your screws out. I'm doing this all at a very strange angle as well. I'm going to say that that's the camera. Sort of got it propped up. Oh, I missed a screw. Like I say, it's the angle I'm doing this at, and I can't remember. It's a while since I've done stuff like this. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So what has gone on? So you can see the gears here are totally out of alignment. Gosh, yeah, that's really gone a bit weird. So let's see if we can actually separate these somehow. Yeah, that's broken. Well, I think it's broken. Yeah, it's broken. It's actually broken on the back gear. Now, that's quite unusual. That is really weird, actually. Look at that. And that's probably gluable, but would I want to? So yeah, absolutely plastered in grease. There's a huge amount of grease on this, and this is factory grease. So yeah, so 2 gears put together, and then they're just sealed. I don't know why they didn't make it as one single unit, but it's probably something to do with slightly different style of teeth. A bit of an odd one. Let's get this out. So I think my next course of action, because this is absolutely plastered in grease, really unbelievably greasy, is to clean it up, and then we'll transfer gears, well, this gear over. I think I actually do have one of those spare as well, maybe. Oh no, I think it's for the F30. So yeah, I don't think that's the same. I'll check. It'll be interesting to find out if it is the same as the F30, because even though the F30 is much more slimline, it does look very similar, so we'll see. But yeah, okay, I'll get that cleaned up and we'll crack on. Okay, so this gear fell off. This is off the left hand side of the bar on the front loading system, so it transmits the movement from the right side to the left side to pull the basket in, or the actual tray. So yeah, you can see here I've forgotten Rob had actually mentioned this, and he did put a cable tie around there just to try and get it to stay on, pull it, but of course you can't give it enough pressure to actually get it closed enough and glue it and whatever. So I'm going to use the one I did, which is using the wire-based cable management strip, tie, whatever you want to say, because that's actually come out really well. It's super glued and it's absolutely fine. So that's the plan. I'll put this on and we should be all good. And I don't think there's specifically any timing on this, other than, I mean, obviously it's got the flat there, so yeah, we'll use that and hopefully we'll be all good. Let's crack on. Okay, so it's the next day and it's actually really windy, so it's very hot as well, so I have to have the window open, but yeah, anyway, so next thing I'm going to do is take these doors off. You can see how filthy they are, just really very mucky. So to do that, we've got this little insert here. There's a flat on there, and you can just pick it off, and there it is. I know I've showed it before, but that's sort of a close-up with it. The lip there, you can see there, hopefully, I think, just that lip faces out and just sort of clips in between the two hinges. So take that out, and then these slide across. Much easier to do when it's out the machine. It can be a bit of a fiddle to get, especially the bottom one out, because it's really close to that taped metal bit of chassis. So yeah, that's that. And I need to find a cloth, just give it a bit of a clean up in the groove. But yeah, so greasy. It's really greasy. Just move that back a little bit. Not that it matters, but it's just while I think about it. So yeah, let's give those a clean. Okay, so I would normally use the Servisol foam cleanser, but bought some of this, and I've used it a couple of times already, and it seems okay. I don't think it's maybe quite as good as the Servisol stuff, but it does the job. So I'm going to give it a crack on this. So it's Pro Power Foam Cleaner. I actually bought this off Amazon just because I needed some quick for a job, and it's actually Premier Farnell that make it, so I'll probably get it quite a bit cheaper than it is on Amazon, but I have Amazon Prime, so this meant I could get it next day for cleaning a load of computers, which it seemed to do very well. But we'll see how it does with this, because this is a little bit more challenging because they're so greasy, these doors. Yeah, it seems to be doing a relatively good job. And I can see a slight problem with one of these doors as well, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Let's put that out of the way. Clean this up. Yeah, it's just lifted all the grease off. It's done a great job, actually. I'm quite impressed. The other thing I like about the Pro Power stuff, it doesn't smell nearly as strong as the Servisol stuff. I do find if I used a lot of the Servisol stuff, it really does stink the place out. It takes ages for it to go. So yeah, I'm a little bit sold on the new stuff. I was skeptical because some of it can be pretty poor, to be honest. So that's pretty good. Now this bottom door, might not be able to see it. There is a very slight line on the inside. Yeah, there you go. You can just see it in the light there. Where it's been rubbing against the metal chassis. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll just get my Brasso and we'll just polish that out. So my Brasso, I just got just a little bit of the rubbing stuff. I'm just going to rub on the back of the plastic, just effectively polish it out. What I will do as well, because there is some wear there as well, it's just where tape sort of, I think that side's quite so bad. It's more not just the one side, so I'll do that as well. Won't be perfect, but it'll just make it a bit nicer. So not perfect, but it's better. Just taking it off a little bit, taking out the scratches. Still very slight on the back as well, but not enough for it to be even noticeable. So that's good. You have to look closely. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, let's get this back in. So next is putting the gears on, and let's start with this one first. So I've lined up the front loading system so it's running relatively parallel. You can see there it's parallel to the housing. So I'll pop this on, and this should pretty much self-align, because as long as you keep it parallel, it'll line up. And you can see there, that's pretty perfect. Next is this gear, and that goes like so. So it's got a mesh, so let's check that is right. Yes, it is. Then this one So it goes this way with the gap facing out, and again that points with the hole going down. And these are 1.5mm Allen keys. They give the tightest. I mean, if you haven't got that, that's fine. But a bit smaller, you might get a little bit too much play. And then finally, this middle gear, which should hopefully just locate. And let's use another 1.5 for that one. Just make sure it's absolutely spot on. So that's it. That is done. So should be able to put this in like so, and that's it. We are good to go. So let's pull these out. And we'll just double check this one. And you should be good to go. But yeah, because there's that flat, when these go on both sides, there's a flat side, that lines it up. So as long as this black piece of plastic here is in the right place, then you'll be fine. That's all good. Yes, overthinking that. So let's put this back on. In fact, what I think I'll do is just put a tiny bit of grease on, just on these bits here, because they go into these bits here, and yeah, then we'll put the top back on and we should be good to go. So using car lube silicone. This seems to be my grease of choice for plastic against plastic, and it's heavy enough. There's no creep, so don't need a huge amount. And I'll just put some on that runner. Again, don't need a huge amount. And I'm going to put a little bit on here. Here. Really, you don't need any on there because it's teeth against teeth. You don't need grease against for teeth against teeth. There is lubricant in here anyway because I pre-lubed them, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with just that relatively small amount of grease, and I will put a little bit on the door mechanism part as well. There we go. And that should do the trick. So, put this on. And we should be able to just make sure those switches are in the right place. So yeah, you just have to actuate those two switches before you press it down, otherwise you could potentially bend them. To be fair, I think they're fairly forgiving, but yeah, you don't want to force this old plastic. It is not that forgiving at this age. So we've still got the the Allen key in on the other side, keeping everything as it should. So let's give it a try. That one. This one is a little bit challenging because it's just big enough. And yeah, like I say, it's a tight fit, but it's in. That's fine. So we are aligned. You can see there, they've all come through. So let's pull these out. And that's ejecting. There we go, and you heard the switch go. So I should be able to wind this in. There's 2 switches. That's as far as it goes, without actuating the locks. So it's looking pretty parallel. Yeah, that's not bad. And it's feeling pretty smooth. And that's it. That's loaded. That's how it should be. Lovely. So that is, or should be, a good front loading system. Let's wind it back out. Doors are open. Fingers slipping. Oh, that's it. So yeah, that's all looking good. Yeah, doors are good. The side is looking perfect. It's properly right to the end. That is good to go. So excellent. Just need a machine to put it in now. I'm really happy that this front loading system is now doing what it's supposed to do, and should do for many years to come, hopefully. It's been well greased, and it's aligned up well, and loading and unloading really perfectly. Nice and smooth, not too much tightness anywhere along its travel. So yeah, I'm chuffed. Now I was going to try this in the red C20 that you saw at the beginning of the video, but we've since worked on that, and there is a video showing me doing that and the really odd fault that it had. So my thinking is we'll try it in the HF100, and I'm going to be looking at this phase shortly, so I'll do that as part of looking at this machine and getting it up to speed and ready to go. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in another video. Bye for now.